That's hypocrisy, Jones. And man, we got hit with a lot, and I mean a lot of things to talk about. So I mean, I don't want to keep it holding off anymore. I got to bring my co-host in because we got a whole lot to talk about. Hype, how you doing, bro?
Yo, 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 what is up, my homie? What is up? Yes, we definitely did get hit with a whole lot there. And yo, I'm sorry if we came in with some audio issues, but hopefully that is fixed now. I think I got it all figured out. You know how technology goes, and when we live, things happen. But here
It be
we
like that.
are. Here we are. We are in the house, and yo, I didn't know. I did not know what we were gonna talk about today, but gosh. I mean, gosh, we got a
So
whole lot to
much.
talk about. Like you know, we went in knowing, hey, today is the TV up fronts, and if you guys
Yeah.
listen to Khan on his solo shot on Tuesday, you heard the explanation of what a solo shot or what a I'm sorry, TV upfront was, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
yo, you did a really good job explaining to everybody what that was, as we saw
Thank you.
that like WWE was excluded from the TV show or the TV upfronts. I don't know why
Yeah.
I am. Ah, I'll get with it today. I will get with it today. I
Tired, man.
promise.
It's been a long day.
It has been a long week, just period. I like
Man.
I tell you. So like, and feels like there's always something. But like I was saying, WWE was excluded from the TV upfronts this past week from Fox and USA. So, but we knew, or we at least we had a really good idea that that wouldn't be the case for AEW.
Yeah.
We can speculate a little bit about why WWE was excluded, but like we knew going into today that AEW had a huge announcement, has a huge announcement because Tony Khan, told us that that was going to happen. We knew that the Warner Discovery upfronts were today, so we knew we would have a little bit. But man,
Yeah.
like I don't even know if we want to talk about that part because like you just want to get into the juice.
Man, there's a lot to
Like
unpack here
there's a lot
because
like
it,
there's some
so
juice and
much.
like we could just dive right into the toxic shit if you want to.
I know you love that, man. I know that's your favorite part.
Yeah, buddy.
Man,
Yeah.
okay. So before we get into that, we're definitely gonna get into what's happened just in the last like hour or so, guys. I mean, we went on the air here on Twitch a little bit late, just because me and Hyper busy guys, and we just had to get some things done. But you know what? Honestly, I'm glad that we did because like we're seeing things unpack now as it's happening, with a man named CM Punk. But before we get to that, and we're definitely about to get to that, I want to dig a little bit deeper on this collision situation. So they announced it, and it was part of the Warner Brothers upfronts collision Saturday. I believe that's going to be June 17th. Of course, correct me if I'm wrong on that.
No, you
Um,
are right. You are right
June
as rain
17th.
right now. Yeah, I'll
Okay,
even
so
pull it
June
up here.
yeah, June 17th is going to
Everybody
be
can see the
starting
graphic.
some new Saturday wrestling. And man, that new logo, man, that new logo there, I mean, definitely I definitely know where it came from, and I think that any
I
wrestling fan from the 90s is going to know where that came
wait.
from.
I like it wasn't just me. Like you've seen that before, right? Like you've
Yeah.
seen this before, right? Like
Yeah.
I like it feels super familiar, and I can't quite put my finger. Hmm.
Hmm.
Oh man, I hope this means that Stevie Ray's coming back because I could use a real Harlem Heat
Get some
reunion.
Harlem Heat popping.
Yes.
There you go. Get some Harlem Heat popping. Obvious, obvious WCW vibes. I mean, and I'll be honest. When I was out and about earlier, and I was just kind of looking at my phone, and it came up on my social media when I was refreshing my social media. When I first saw it, I honestly thought that it was a fan edit of what they of combining WCW with the new Collision show, and I thought it was a fan edit. I didn't think that this was the real graphic, but it turns out, Hype, that it is actually the real graphic. So we're gonna get Collision on Saturday nights, June
Yes.
17th. What are you thinking about this, man? Now it's been made official. I'm sure that's going to be the announcement from Tony Khan. If it's not that HBO deal, that might be part of tonight too, and maybe even the video game. So we'll speculate on that a little bit. But first, let me ask you, dog. What are you thinking about this Collision show now that it's been announced?
Well, okay. Initially, more wrestling is always good. Except for I don't know how we're gonna fit in watching more wrestling than we already do, especially on a Saturday. But we're gonna figure it out, household. We are going to figure it out somehow. Besides the obvious of more wrestling, less time for other life. I'm pretty excited about it, right? Like I don't know about you guys, but I'm pretty excited about it. Um, More wrestling is always good. It's always good for people in the industry. It gets people paid, right? So,
No
but
doubt, no doubt.
you know, I know you said we're gonna talk about a little bit about the announcement, but if you don't mind, I'll go ahead and read the announcement for the people out there that didn't get to see it.
Please,
Uh,
please.
this is a press release sent out by the people of TNT and AEW, obviously. TNT launches a second night of wrestling with AEW Collision featuring headliners Thunder Rosa, Miro, Samoa Joe, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Andrade El Idolo on Saturday, June 17th. And just real quick, in here as well, it says on May 17th, obviously, in New York City, TNT launches a second night of professional wrestling with a new tentpole series, AEW Collision, on Saturday, June 17th. It was announced today by Kathleen Finch, chairman and chief content officer of the U.S. Networks Group for Warner Brothers Discovery during the company's 2023 upfronts presentation. So, if you guys didn't get out of that what I got out of that, like I'm really keen on the names that they're throwing out there.
Yeah.
That was one of my first things is we really haven't seen Andrade, and
Mm-hmm.
we threw this in the group chat, right? And my first thought was, yo, why is Andrade in there? I think that's the first thing I said even.
Yeah.
um and and it really made me think. It looks like they are really doing some sort of hard split. I we could maybe speculate on a draft later, but like we don't know what that's going to come to. But I
Yeah.
mean, we do know these things, and Tony Khan has a another announcement to make on top of this later on this evening. So, man, either I don't know. I have a feeling it might be Fight Forever, and it because I think they're all going to be coming around that same time because this is also around the same time of Forbidden Door, if I'm not wrong, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, um, it's a lot of announcements from AEW. It's all good things,
Yeah.
really really exciting things. So
It is.
can't really complain about any of this.
It is exciting, man. I think a lot of good stuff is happening for AEW right now. And like you said, those names that they mentioned are very interesting because a lot of those names are names that haven't been utilized and have been in the dirt sheets and whatnot for where's Miro at? What are they doing with Andrade? Are they possibly under the new Triple H regime? Are they interested in leaving AEW and trying to jump ship and go back to WWE? And then Vince came back, and I was like, maybe let's not do that. So, there's a lot of back and forth going on as far as what was going on with these talents. Thunder Rosa having some heat in the background,
Yeah.
in the backstage and whatnot, and having to deal with that. Well, now she's back. Now Miro's back. Now we're gonna have Andrade Idolo back, and it's gonna be interesting because it seems like this is going to be, like you said, a hard split for talents that haven't really gotten a chance to go out there and have their stories be told in a way because with only one show that's really watched like that because I mean I don't know, I just didn't watch Rampage like that. I mean,
Yeah,
I
Rampage
just
is
don't.
not the show for me to watch. I have to agree with that. But yeah,
I just don't watch. So it's not just me. You don't really watch Rampage like that either. And then of course with the demise, at least for now, of AEW Dark and Dark Elevation, which was really, like I said before on this show, was great. to, go to the whatever that local area is where they're having the show and get a couple of local wrestlers to be enhancement talent and let them have their moment, which was a beautiful thing for indie wrestling. But now we're not going to be doing that anymore, because now we have a Ring of Honor that we tape. Now we're still going to have Rampage. We still have Dynamite. Now we have Collision now. And I think they want to put a lot of attention towards Collision. Saturday night, that 8 to 10 slot, it could be a good slot, but also it could be detrimental because there's a lot of things that go on Saturday nights. There's not going to be a lot of people probably watching wrestling on a Saturday night. I will, if I'm not booked, I probably will, just because I want to see what's going on. But I mean, even in the business, Saturday nights is a hot time to go to shows. Saturday nights is a hot time to show up to your local spot and go to a show. I'm not saying that there's not going to be an opportunity for them to watch it later. I'm sure if we get this streaming situation and they show up on Max, it would be very smart to me for them to have their episodes available like next day to view on the app, like kind of some of our favorite shows that we see nowadays. We can't watch them on Hulu or something the night that it comes out live, but pretty much that next morning we could stream it on Hulu or whatever. So maybe they'll do something like that. And I want this to work. I really do. I
Yeah,
really do. It's just my question is, with so many people who usually are doing stuff on a Saturday night, what will the ratings be for this show, and what's the shelf life for it if the ratings aren't where the network wants them to be at?
absolutely. So that was one of my first speculations too, but I don't think a show of this nature will be the first one cut. I think if we're speculating, obviously it would be like a Rampage that would be cut first, and
Yeah.
then so on and so forth. But it looks like, at least the news that I heard, that the way that they're going to structure this is that obviously AEW Dynamite will go live on Wednesday nights, and then after tapings, um, will be taped Rampage, and
Okay.
when they do AEW Collision, they will tape for Ring of Honor after those shows. So I think they have a plan. At least they have a plan as how can we structure these split rosters. And at least
Right.
I don't know. We know of other companies that, split their rosters and it doesn't mean anything. Hopefully like it means something here.
I
Hopefully they
I
keep
agree.
it. Yet it's some sort of cohesionness, and just make it make sense for me, and I'll buy into it. I really don't care who's wrestling, and I don't care who doesn't like each other at this point anymore. I don't like a lot of people in this world. I don't even like people. I like you guys in the household, but you guys are different, right? Because you guys kind of get it.
Yeah.
Um, but like, just give me good wrestling, and that's all I ask for. I really worry that they are going to stretch themselves too thin. They will
Yeah.
run
That's a
out of
legitimate
story.
concern.
They will run out of storylines. They won't utilize storylines correctly, and it's not necessarily because they have had a track record of doing this. Although they have had a track record of not doing a whole lot of stories outside of their main story, and this will kind of force them to do this, right?
Yeah.
Um, I there's a lot to look at with this. I can't wait to see what happens. To be honest,
Absolutely. No, I agree with you. Like I said before, I'm rooting for them to win. I want to see them succeed. I mean, I
yeah.
want to see wrestling win altogether. So they got this new show coming, Collision, and of course that's going to saturate an already oversaturated market of American professional wrestling. Monday Night Raw, Tuesday NXT, Wednesday AEW Dynamite, Thursday Ring of Honor and Impact, Friday Rampage and SmackDown. Now Saturday we're gonna have Collision, and then if we have Sunday pay-per-views, then we're gonna have that too. So a lot of
Oh
wrestling, like
man.
like we've talked about in the past, a lot of wrestling. But pick what you like. Like I mean, pick what you
Or
like.
both. Enjoy both. Wrestling is
Yeah,
wrestling. It's all good, yo.
yeah. My man, the voice Josh Joseph, he asked us if we were WCW fans. And I'll answer that question real quick. My
Yeah.
first exposure to wrestling was actually WCW. I was a huge fan of the WCW Cruiserweight division. Dean Malenko, Chris Jericho, even Disco Inferno, he was in that too. Eddie Guerrero, Juventud Guerrero, Rey Mysterio. That division was just wonderful. Of course, I was a fan of Sting.
Yeah.
Seeing the NWO do their thing, I just wanted to see them get toppled, by Sting and Diamond Dallas Page and the WCW originals. So yeah, my first exposure to wrestling actually was WCW.
Yeah, so I really was a WCW kid. Although I flipped back and forth a lot, WCW was my jam because I really like the smaller guys as well.
Yeah.
I love the cruiserweights. One of my favorite matches in the entire fucking world is Halloween Havoc '96.
Ooh,
Rey
good one.
Mysterio, Eddie Guerrero, obviously
Great
a
match.
classic.
Absolutely.
One of these days, I'm gonna get something of it tattooed on me, of some sort,
That's
just
dope.
because I just want that, right? Like, but
Yeah.
um yeah, I was honestly, I was definitely more of a WCW guy than I was a WWF guy or WWE guy. I only switched over when I was forced to. Well, not when I was forced to, because there was a good time where, like, obviously WCW just went, it was just trash, right? And you
Yeah.
couldn't help but switch back over.
You had to.
Yeah, you had to, because it was just garbage. I'd seen too many on a pole matches, and I was just like, nah, man, this is
Yeah.
cooler. Uh, I want to see this
About the
dude.
year 2000. Yeah, it was year 2000 for WCW was bad.
Yeah, yeah. I way more enjoy seeing this dude beat up his boss than whatever this is. Um,
Yeah.
and
No doubt,
ultimately, I
man.
just blame Hulk Hogan, and this is why I have deep seated issues.
Well,
Huh?
he destroyed TNA too.
Yeah, I mean, while we're at it, I'm just saying
I mean, that man just came, took his money, and just like that's a whole nother bag of worms.
it really
But
is. You know who didn't do any of that?
who?
Jeff Jarrett.
Good point.
Yeah,
Good
I no,
point.
I didn't have a point for that. I was just, yeah, I just think we as a whole in the industry just need to give that dude some more praise. Man, he's
He's
good.
always going to places and helping out companies.
Yes, in some way, and actually trying, right? Like,
Yeah.
he's the example to make. I fuck
He
with Jeff
is, yeah,
Jarrett.
yeah. Double J's cool. He's all right with me, man. And this, like I said, this new show, it's all right with me. Like Collision, like I said, I have my concerns, but I really do hope that it works out, and I hope that it is something where, because that's one thing I've said in the past on this show is that one thing about AEW is that they are very in tune with what their fans are saying, what they're
Yeah,
like, the thoughts of their fans. They're all, and like I've said before, it's almost to a fault. But I think that they see people are saying, "Oh well, every time WWE does a draft, they don't stick with it. We're already having cross brand things going on just right after the draft with AJ Styles and now Seth Rollins, which is still going to be a great match, but why couldn't we could have got the same result by just having it exclusively on Raw?"
right.
Um, so my point in saying that is that I think AEW is not only going to try to keep this split going, but they're going to try to stay true to it just to kind of be like, you know what, we're not like them. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And I think if that's the route that they go, that's smart. Plus, once again, like you said, it gives talents a better opportunity to tell their stories that might not have had their stories being told when there was just Wednesday night, Friday night, when really nobody's watching like that. It's 10 o'clock on a Friday night. Most people are really kind of out doing something,
yeah,
and there just wasn't enough story. There wasn't enough room. There was too many people there, but there wasn't enough camera time for everybody. This is a solution to that. If you split them up, two different shows, keep them there, and let them tell their stories. And it's almost like you got two different wrestling products right there. That's getting talent an opportunity to be seen, heard, and get over.
yeah. Absolutely. And, like, if the roster indication, if you guys have seen the flyer or anything, the what we can maybe project, if we can, say that's anything for certain, the roster that will be on Collision looks like it'll be pretty strong if they're gonna have House of Black on there, FTR,
Yeah.
Andrade, Miro, Thunder
Yep.
Rosa. Like, that is very, 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 very strong roster just right out the jump. So, um, I don't see how there could be very much, you know, I they
They could do
shouldn't
it.
be able to mess up too much from that, right? You'd hope
I
not,
agree.
right?
I agree. I would hope not. One thing that I did notice, that on the upfronts they really put Jade Cargill on display. I don't know if you saw
Yes.
that. They put her up
Yeah.
front,
She
like right
was
up front.
she was the TBS representative, as they had athletes represent the different brands between TBS and TNT, and
Yeah.
I'm not sure of the TNT representative. I believe was like either a hockey player or, I don't know, maybe somebody from Blue Bloods or something, but
Yeah. Yeah.
the TBS representative was AEW's own Jade Cargill, and that says so
Yeah.
much about her. And
It says a lot what they want to do with her too.
yeah, yeah. Well, at least TBS, Warner Brothers, they see how much of a fucking star she is, right?
Yeah. Oh
So,
yeah.
man, I hope that they push her in. They at least put a bug in AEW's ear and say, hey, can we see her more? And maybe like prolific things, give her some substance. Maybe not just squash match after squash match after squash match. Let
Yeah.
her do something really good, okay? Please.
Absolutely. No, I absolutely agree with you. And I think that Conan had a take on that too that's pretty similar to yours. He said on his podcast, Keeping It 100, as far as Jade Cargill goes, it almost feels like AEW's thinking is, let's put that belt on her because with that look, she's money. Yeah, but now that money is 3 years old, it's not new anymore. You've got to do something with it, or she would get stale, like what we see happening. So I mean, there's people like Conan, like you, other members of the household and whatnot, who are aware that we need to freshen her up, right? Like if we're going to put her in the forefront, she can't just be Sheberg. She has
Yeah.
to have more. She
Yeah.
has to have more, and we got to and more is going to come with better stories, somebody that can actually topple her, somebody that could actually compete with her, and telling better stories, and importantly for her, having better matches, because you can only squash so long. What can you do? We want to see what you can really do. Can you go 10-15 minutes if you need to? Can you go 20 minutes? We want to see the evolution of Jade Cargill, especially if they're going to put her as a cover girl.
Absolutely. So, I'm gonna correct you on one thing you said just a second ago. You said she can't be Sheberg, and she can if they take our advice. You know what we said on previous episodes of In Your House right here. Um, if they just let Goldberg be her manager, go ahead and sign the man. Let him be her manager. Let him help her guide the way, right? And we see Goldberg in all this glory. Oh, also, like, I just want to touch on this. This logo screams that they're about to sign Goldberg. It also, shout out to Jushin in the chat. But he does not like this logo. He says it's too nostalgic for him, right?
Yeah.
I low key kind of agree. I hope this is just for introduction's sake. And I hope they come out with something a little bit more original afterwards. That's a little bit more sticking. But man, I,
I
I
think they honestly, I think they kind of did that. In my opinion, I think they did that because of it's on TNT,
yeah,
and the former relationship that TNT had with WCW, and they're just kind of like, hey, let's appeal to those people who watch TNT that maybe used to watch WCW. But I agree with you there. As much as I do like it, I like the nostalgia. I do.
Yeah.
I understand. I understand where Juice is coming from, but I like the nostalgia. But I also am erring on the side of they probably need to be a little original too. So this is cute for now, but where are we gonna go from here? I hope it's something different.
Yeah, yeah. I hope. Well, I hope it eventually evolves. It becomes something in its own of itself. Also, I like. I don't know how copyright laws are, but like, I'm sure if WWE could sue, they'd probably find a way to sue, right?
Oh yeah, just for, because they own the rights to WCW.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So that's a little close. But maybe it was just close for a reason, right? Maybe this is like one of the first real shots at hey, we know we want you to know we're coming.
An attention
We're
move.
coming. Yeah.
Next step, next step, if they really wanna start some smoke, they can go ahead and move Dynamite to Monday nights. How about that?
Hey, there you go. There you go.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah.
Move Dynamite to Monday nights. Let's start some real smoke, baby. Let's
Yeah.
go.
No, that would be the real smoke. Like I don't know why they didn't just pull the trigger on this. Saturday is a weird night.
It
Like
is.
am I wrong? Like
No, you're not wrong. I like Saturday wrestling, but if I'm home, you know
yeah.
what I'm saying? If I'm home, like I know we have Night of Champions next Saturday, and that's going to be early afternoon because they're going to be in Saudi Arabia, and I'm going to be here for that. That's going to be great. I should possibly just be getting off the shoot job from then so I can catch it as it starts. Like I might miss the first couple of minutes, but I like to know I can come home straight to wrestling is great, but that's not going to be every Saturday, especially in the summertime. People travel, you know what I'm saying? People go places, especially on weekends. So we'll see how it goes. But man, come on, put Dynamite. Dynamite's already the proven show. Move it to Monday nights. Let's start a fight. Let's
Yeah.
start a fight.
Yeah, no, yeah. I'm ready for a real fight. There needs to be some real Monday Night Wars here, and like let's really get some shit started, bro.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So you talking about some shit starting? Um,
Oh God.
we're getting to your favorite part,
Uh,
man. You talking about some shit starting. and and man, as great as the news is about Collision, awesome news, great for wrestling. A certain Chicago made Punk was not going to be outdone.
no,
Absolutely not. Was not going to be. You want the headlines? No. Me. That's right. CM Punk, man, he finally broke his silence. And he broke it on social media on his IG, bro, on his IG story. Can you kind of break down what he said and where we're going as far as the what's annoying Punk today?
yeah. So on his IG story, it states, and as you guys can see right here, friendly reminder: I haven't been on TV in 9 months, and y'all just can't stop talking about me. Maybe stop. You'll feel better. Love, hate. It's all the same. I don't enjoy being the sole person that props up entire misinformed clickbait industry based on toxic gossip from lying sources. But what can you do? When you're the king, it comes with the crown, with the little crown emoji. So, oh, and there was more. There was a little bit of back and
He didn't
forth
stop.
between
Yeah, he didn't stop.
Brian Alvarez and him, and then we also have a video. So let's check this out.
All right.
So basically, he's saying that he basically calling the wrestling industry out for being toxic and just staying toxic. But
Yeah.
man, bro, we're not gonna come to a day where we don't talk about CM Punk, are we?
I don't think it's ever gonna happen. I know that in the last couple episodes, he was like, I don't really talk about, I don't really want to talk about Punkin unless he shows up on TV or some major announcement. Punk said, "Listen, man, hold my water. All right, I'm straight edge. I don't drink. Hold my water. I'm gonna make you talk about me." And
Right.
that's exactly,
Right.
and that's
I ain't gotta
exactly
get
what he
drunk.
did.
I ain't gotta necessarily. Well, I not that I won't act a fool. And by the way, Dynamite has started. It's starting off with Wardlow in the ring, calling out Christian Cage. Just for anybody following along at home, but CM Punk will literally make himself the topic, and it like he didn't even have to do it because honestly we do this, right? Like we're
Yep.
a
Oh
part of
yeah.
this, and
Yep.
we're a part of the people that make this a topic. We're part of the people that make him a subject because he's interesting, and he's
Polarizing. Very
very
polarizing.
polarizing. Yes. um and who really gets better than that? Like, who doesn't want that, especially in this industry? We love um Oh man, I'm sorry you guys couldn't hear that video. I am so sorry. Here, let's see if I can. Oh no, it won't. Okay, I couldn't figure it out. I'll shoot a link for
So
everybody
yeah,
down
just
there.
so yeah, we'll shoot a link out there for you guys to be able to check that out. But basically, it's just like Hype said. He was calling out tribalism in professional wrestling and picking sides and liking what you like, which is something. I mean, he's at the end of the day, dog. He's really not wrong.
No,
Like
no,
he
he's
he
not wrong in a lot of ways.
he made points that I absolutely agree with because I mean, you can go on Twitter right now, and Twitter's the worst one. Twitter is the absolute worst one. You could go on Twitter right now and you can see some neckbeard talking about, oh, AEW is way better than WWE because Vince is this and that, and
Yeah,
Tony Khan doesn't do this and that. And
yeah,
I'm like, dude, then just watch AEW.
yeah. That part.
It's fine.
Yeah,
Just watch AEW. It's just so crazy.
you,
Like what you like. But here's the thing. See, now I'm getting pissed off. See, here's the
oh,
thing.
oh man, Con,
Here's
you
the
ain't gotta
thing
get
right
pissed off,
here.
bro.
Here's the thing right here, bro, is that in wrestling, in in the fan base, even in some indie wrestling, it's a bunch of man children. That's exactly what it is. It's man children that want to push what they like onto other people and crap on anything that they don't like. It doesn't have to be like that. We all love wrestling. We all love it.
Yep.
I love wrestling. You love wrestling. Jushin loves wrestling. The Voice, Josh Joseph, loves wrestling. Sam Knight loves wrestling. Paragon loves wrestling. That's what brought us all together. It's what's brought us all together in some kind of way. Whether it's me and you podcasting, whether it's me managing Sam, whether it's me, you, and Jushin working on some things in the chat, we're all here for the love of wrestling. So why do we
Absolutely.
keep fighting over this shit? Why do we keep doing this when we love it? You love it your way. It's
Yeah.
art. It's subjective. People take in art differently. So can you please stop with the he say, she say, oh, my promotion is better than yours bullshit because they're not paying you. You're watching their product. So please just sit down, watch your product, and shut up.
Whew.
Please.
Whew. Khan is mad. He is just. Khan is mad.
I'm just being real, dog, because we're here for the love of wrestling and people like that, you know, the people that don't like Punk said at the end of that video, people that don't touch grass just try to just try to gatekeep wrestling and keep it to themselves and shit on somebody else that likes something different. We're all here for the love of that squared circle. We're all
Yeah.
here for the love of everything that happens art wise, entertainment wise, athleticism wise. Can we all just get along? There's too many of these fan bases that love the same thing but hate each other. And I never understand it, bro.
No, I don't understand it, but man. So I think this specific beast looks like it was geared and directed to Brian Alvarez for
Yeah.
different things that he said. Brian Alvarez also took offense to having to explain a comment from David Bixenspan, which honestly, it sounds like a whole lot of whining. Look, we put out stuff in the wrestling sphere all the time, whether it may be satire or real truth, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
we're gonna stand on it
Yep.
always. Like
Got to.
got to. I don't need like Twitter wrestling reporters telling me how hard their life is. Cause honestly, man, I want your job. And if it's too hard for you,
Man,
if it's too hard for you, let me have it. Cause I'm over here
really?
working 6 jobs just trying to do that one, right?
Exactly. I mean, come on. Like, even what we've done this far, there's still more work to be done. You have these places like Fightful, like PWI, who have
Yes.
this access, who have such easy access to people within WWE, to people within AEW. And while, yes, I've had some amazing star studded interviews in the past, it has not been easy for me to get these. Guys, you guys go out there and you get them just like that.
Yeah.
So come on, man. I'm not trying to hear you bitching.
No, not at all, man. Not at all. If your life is that hard, if your job is that hard, let me holler at me. I got you. You can come to the puzzle factory and build puzzles like I do. They're not really puzzles. I just don't like to tell people. Yeah, never mind.
Yeah, yeah. Man, so Punk made some points. I mean, just like we just talked about. But Juice raised an interesting question when we was in the IYH chat, and him him being CM Punk, him having this rant on the exact same day that Collision is announced, a show that is being rumored that's supposed to center around him anyway. Possibly a HBO deal being announced at some point tonight. Like you said, Dynamite is already on the air. It's already happening right now.
Yeah.
Possibly even the announcement of AEW Fight Forever, finally getting finally getting a date there. And Punk does this at this time, takes this opportunity to do this at this time. And Juice raised an interesting question. Is Punk a PR nightmare?
I don't think so.
Inter- Interesting question.
I don't
It's
think
an
so.
interesting question.
I
So
mm,
so I'll say this. John Morant is a PR nightmare for the
that
Memphis Grizzlies.
that's one. That's one.
There
You
we
can't
go.
be.
All right. John Morant is a PR nightmare for the Memphis Grizzlies. All right, so we know that.
Yes.
That being said, no. I can honestly say that I do not think that Punk is a PR nightmare, and I'll say why. I'll say why. I'll give my opinion why. After really thinking about it, and it didn't take me that long to think about it, but I don't think that he is, because if he is the main name for this show, if this show is centered around him, this timing is almost impeccable.
Yeah.
and that's what comes to my mind. I'm like, okay, so with the knowledge of knowing that this show is centered around CM
He
Punk,
just
and
said
CM
Joss
Punk comes out.
misunderstood.
God,
I'm sorry.
oh, that yeah, he about to misunderstand a whole lot of zeros on his paycheck, man. But
It's okay. LA will take him. I think this is a ploy on Moran's part.
you think he's
He's like,
trying to get out of? You think he's trying to get out of Memphis?
absolutely. He's like, yo, like it gets cold here. Yo, there's nothing but people that don't understand me because we got different accents. I don't. Maybe I don't know.
Who knows? I don't know what's going on through his head, but what I do think is that this stuff with Punk wasn't on accident. I mean,
No.
it was conveniently timed on the day that technically, quote unquote, what is rumored to be his show is announced. So with that knowledge and me taking in that knowledge, I CM Punk is somebody who's obviously polarizing. We know that. He knows how
Yes.
to get people talking. And when he barely speaks, he puts out do you know how many wrestlers put shit out on their IG live every single solitary day, hoping for something to be clickbaity or something that somebody notices or something like that. And I'm not just talking about WWE or AEW. I'm talking about
Jesus,
indie
Khan, just
wrestling
at
too.
me next time. Got
We
me in
all
my
do it, bro.
feels
I
over.
do it too. I do it too.
Yeah.
I'm on my head too. But the second that CM Punk does it, it's all over the headlines.
Yes.
He
Whoa.
knows he knows his worth. He
Yes.
knows his place in professional wrestling. He's not stupid. You can say he's an asshole, but you can never say that he's stupid.
You remember like a couple weeks ago we were talking about the gaslighting tour of CM Punk, right?
Yeah, yep.
And that's what that was. He was apologizing to everyone to make sure. I'm not saying he was totally wrong. It was all his fault, but he did have fault. But also the elite had fault too, right? But
Oh yeah, yep.
but CM Punk has went out, done his apologies, and all that stuff. And now he knows he's the one bringing in this money. He's the one bringing in most of those viewers. We can't say it was MJF anymore because we've seen what AEW is with MJF as the main stage. And, like, sadly, even for me, it's not even great. It's not the greatest thing. It hasn't been the
Yeah.
greatest thing. And you need a guy like Punk. You need him. He is Hogan. He is modern day Hogan. Um, at least in the draw eyes of what he can be for AEW, as in what AEW or what Hogan was for WCW before he completely murdered it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's somebody who knows how to get people talking is the point. I mean, you already named off an actually really great roster for AEW Collision as far as what has been put out there and what you just told me. Imagine capping that off with your top guy on the show being CM Punk on top of that talent. You
right.
could tell some really great stories with CM Punk and pretty much anybody that's on that show, however you choose to structure it. And the structure is going to be very important. It's going to be very important. I was just raving just this past Tuesday on my solo shot about the structure of Monday Night Raw. And that's very, very important because you can have all these great stars, you can have top talent, but if you're not presenting them in the right way, then you're not maximizing your investment. You're not maximizing their talent. You're not maximizing the opportunities that you have to tell compelling stories and put on great TV. That's going to be very important for what we see in Collision. It's not only the stars that we see and somebody who can be polarizing and tell stories with the ability that CM Punk can, but it's going to be how you structure him and these other top talents that are going to be made around this show to tell these compelling stories, to make must watch TV. How are we going to do it? It's going to be big to tell. And who knows? We don't know what Punk is doing. Punk just conveniently started talking shit on IG Live the same day that this show is announced.
It
This
was
man
not
is not stupid.
conveniently. It wasn't conveniently. Yes, he's not stupid, but it's also everybody else's fault. I'm not saying it's not my fault, but it's definitely y'all's fault, right? Not like because we all knew that we're all still waiting on CM Punk to be announced for this show, right? Like, am I
Yeah, we
wrong?
are.
We are. Be and he knows that. He's not stupid. The wrestling media knows that. I this is going to be the second worst kept secret in the world, at least until this second coming show premieres on June 17th.
Yeah.
But I I don't know. I just wish they would announce him back and we get some interaction. We see him in the ring.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully we see him in the ring more than a couple times and he gets hurt.
We don't know. Please let's not do that. I mean, we don't want to see any more injuries. I've already went on record. I want to say I blasted him, but I definitely had a pretty strong opinion on Bray Wyatt.
Yes.
And I Punk is one of those guys that's been kind of stop and start as well.
Yeah.
He's a guy that when he's on TV, you gotta see what he's doing. But he's got to be on TV. That means maybe limit your work rate, understand your age, because
Don't blow up your own spot.
exactly, and just know your limitations. I mean, the guy's not he's I'm not saying that he's out of shape, but I'm also not saying that he's not AJ Styles either. AJ Styles is 40 years old and flies around that ring like he's fucking 25.
Absolutely.
Like it's crazy to see, but man, my point is we need to preserve Punk. If we're going to put him back on TV, okay? If we're going to pay him all this money, if we're going to put him in a position to tell compelling stories and lead this show to prominence on a Saturday night, that's going to be hard to sell people that go out on Saturday nights. We got to preserve this man. We got to preserve him.
Yeah.
And how are we going to do that? We need to lower his work rate, maybe not have him wrestling on TV every single week. Let him tell stories. He's at that age. He needs to realize it. AEW needs to realize it, and the fans need to realize it. That the time of Ring of Honor Punk, when he was putting out bangers, 5-star matches, his came and went, and it is okay.
Yes.
It's okay. But he doesn't need to be on TV wrestling every single week. Let him do some backstage stuff. Let him come out and cut a promo in the ring. Maybe get into a scuffle on the show or something like that.
I
There's
don't know.
millions of
Build
other
and
things he could be
manage a
doing.
faction.
Oh, that'd be good too. He's a great faction
I
leader. We've seen that in the past.
I mean, I just like right off the top of my head, we don't need to see you wrestle all the time. But we want
No.
you in wrestling, right? And
Yes.
and that's not too
Yes.
much to ask for. Um, I don't like that's what we needed out of him. And like we need whatever this selfish bullshit out of him and the elite or whoever's the blame right now. I don't care because they're both are. Um, or whoever's holding the no contact order because that's what this is,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
One person has a no contact order over another, and look, I've been through that. I know how that goes, but I like drop it so you can make some money, right?
Yeah.
Even
Come
if
on,
these
guys.
rosters stay split, like just find a way to move on from this shit.
Listen, I totally agree with you, and I feel like everybody in the household will agree with what I'm about to say. Juice, the voice, anybody else who's listening to the sound of our voices
Woo,
will agree
thank
with
you.
what I'm about to say. Um, Listen, man, I work at a place where I work with people I don't like all the time. Okay.
Yeah,
It's just cold hard facts. It's the facts of life. You're gonna be around people that you don't like, but you know what? You need to put bread on the table.
yeah,
All right. You need to put bread on the table. So what are you gonna do? Are you gonna let that pride get in the way? Is pride gonna be the devil? Is it gonna control you? Is it gonna stop you from putting food on your table? Is it gonna stop you from putting out the best product that you possibly can? Is it gonna stop you from being the best possible you that you possibly can? Is it gonna stop you from putting out your art, putting out your message into the
no,
world? No, it's not. So stop with the childish bullshit. Let bygones be bygones. You don't got to be best friends, but you got to work together. We got to do it for the love of wrestling and for the sake of putting out the very best product that we can possibly put out for the fans.
absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, I couldn't say it any better myself, Con. You nailed it.
That's just my mindset on it, man. And like I know that when you're in wrestling, you got to grind. Even in many different realms of wrestling, you got to grind. Whether you're a ring announcer, whether you're a referee, whether you're a wrestler, whether you're even on our side where we do the media side of things, we got to grind. There's not, I don't. There's sometimes on a Tuesday morning where I don't feel like putting out the Tuesday solo shot, but I do it anyway.
Right?
There's sometimes we might be tired after work where we don't want to do IYH live, but we do it anyway.
Yes.
It's all about grinding. It's all about sometimes you got to do stuff that you don't want to do in order to get yourself in a better position in life. And that's exactly what we need to see with CM Punk, the Elite, and Kenny Omega. Hash it out. You don't got to hang out and go get a beer together, but let's do what's best for the show.
Absolutely, absolutely. You were over there killing it, Con. Yo, and shout out to Orenthor in the chat, first time chatter.
Hey,
He
what's
said
up?
Con.
Hey, what's up? Hey, thanks for joining us, y'all. For real. Okay. Come in. I hope you guys are enjoying what we're going. God, I'm getting fired up here, y'all. I've been
Yeah.
getting fired up this whole episode.
I mean, that's what we do in the household. Yo, it's a house party. We stay fired up. We be fired up. We going, yo. We
Yeah,
just
man.
going.
Absolutely.
Jushin
Absolutely.
is a fish. I
I
don't know
think
what that is. I think that's a
he's a
fish.
fish.
He's a fish. He's a fish. And the
Oh,
elite are
man.
getting their ass kicked currently on AEW Dynamite in a backstage brawl by the BCC. So
Oh, wow. Okay. All right.
yes,
So they getting their ass beat.
yes.
Wonderful. So did they tell us when we're gonna be hearing this announcement from TK?
No, I have not heard that yet. They're right now going to a backstage segment with Renee and Wardlow after an attack from Hobbs, I believe. Or no, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
After an attack from Christian Cage, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Christian Cage.
Yeah,
Okay.
Christian Cage and Luchasaurus.
Yes. Okay. I got you. Okay. All right. So that's interesting stuff. Sounds like Dynamite is starting out pretty good
Yeah,
so far.
Arn
So
Anderson is giving Wardlow a pep talk. He hasn't said anything about his Glock yet, but I'll
I
keep
was
you
gonna
guys
say
updated.
I was gonna say did y'all pull up flanking flanking Hart Anderson
Right, right.
or something like that?
Yeah.
Man, I but
Oren Thor in the
seriously,
chat wants to know about Destination 6 on Saturday.
oh, a little D6 action. See, you
Yeah.
forced me to talk about it, and we can talk about it.
We got to talk about it, bro.
Most definitely. All
If the
right. So
household wants to know, we got to let
we
the
gotta
household
we
know,
gotta
bro.
talk about it. Absolutely, man. So yeah, this past week I got my feet back wet again by doing some backstage production for Emerge. But this Saturday I get to go to a place that I consider home. And that place is in Macomb, Illinois, and that is for D6 Wrestling, Destination 6 Wrestling. We stand alone there in the beautiful D6 arena where all kinds of shit goes down. Man, we got a lot of great things going on, including a last minute announcement of Allison Danger, who is going to be featured on the
Yeah.
show. That is amazing. Of course, her being in the Carino family. That's just, I mean, we're going to be in the presence of a Carino, and the Carino family is full of wrestling geniuses. So that's going to be a great opportunity to soak in some knowledge. Sam Knight is going to be going up against the Airwalker Dex Royal, rekindling an old rivalry from many years ago that I was also involved in. We got Logan Myers and Mike King. That's going to be a movie right there. Title on the line. Number one contenders match for the D6W Tag Team Championship. The Original Sins and the No Limit Demons. Blair Onyx returns to the D6 arena as she's going to go up against a debuting Queen of Cubs and set representation, Haven Harris. Mickey Midas is going to be putting that Ultra Gen 6 championship on the line against Oliver Kane and Christian Rose. And man, it's going to be a great show. You also have Mr. Broadway Kendall Fire, who is also going to be featured. He's going to be in a gauntlet match. My goodness, against your new favorite, Jay Silva, also Jordan Dye, and man, I got to tell you, it's going to be crazy. Jeffrey John is involved in that as well.
Yeah.
Um, man,
Papushka.
it's cool. It's gonna be a big show, man, and I'm very excited for it. I'm very proud of the work that I've been able to do with D6. I feel like Chris and CC are happy with the work that I've done as far as helping with production. Me and Chris have been working together pretty closely, especially post show for the last few weeks to put out content and everything. He's great about getting all that content out there, guys. What we're doing over there at D6 is almost damn near unprecedented in the indies. And I'm not just saying that, I'm being real. We're
Yeah.
we're telling some of the best stories. We have some of the best talent that you can get in the indies. If you have not been to Destination Six, what are you doing? Get to a
Man, you
show.
gotta go. You
You
gotta go.
got to
Hurry
go.
up.
It's
You
a
gotta go.
vibe.
Go.
It's a vibe. I mean, we're like, once again, you got to see what we're putting together over there at D6. It's got that West Coast flavor to it because Destination Six is originally a West Coast promotion, and
Yes,
we
sir.
bring it to the Midwest. It's fantastic, man. D6 is going to be great. Check that out. Once again, that's We Stand Alone at the D6 Arena, Macomb, Illinois, and we're starting off at 6 p.m. and the director will be in the house.
Ooh. That's what's up, Con. That's what's up. I can't wait to see what happens at this D6 show. Unfortunately, I won't be able to be there at this one, but man, I can't wait to find out what happens because it's gonna be huge. There's so many good matches, and like you said, man, there's so many stories that they're already telling and everything else. There's so many different stories that they're able to tell. With this great group of people that they have collected, and plus the family environment there, it's bro.
It's a vibe.
Do yourself a
It's an
favor,
absolute vibe.
just go. It's a vibe, like he said. Buy a shirt, buy a couple. If there's in your house shirts there, buy three.
Yeah, man. It's a great vibe. I'm being asked about spoilers. The only spoiler I do know for
Spoiler.
sure is the only spoiler I know for sure is that Sam Knight wins.
Yeah,
Like
guarantee.
that's it. Sam Knight wins. Here's the thing, man. I gotta be honest. I like Dex Royal. He's a great kid. Here's the thing about young Mister Walker Dex Royal. He's the right guy in the wrong place at the wrong time, facing the wrong guy. I
Mm.
mean, you're going up against the greatest D6W champion ever, ever.
Ever.
And he's going to be D6W champion forever. So
Ever.
there's your answer right there. That's all I know. Everything else that you want to know, hey, you got to show up to Macomb, Illinois on May 20th, 6 p.m. We're starting off. Everything else you want to know, show up, come to the D6 Arena and see everything that unfolds at We Stand Alone.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Just to take it back to some AEW action, we have Sammy Guevara in the ring with a local enhancement talent. So, I didn't see his name, and the match is over. So it was a very quick
Oh,
one.
well, that's it. That's it.
Yeah, yeah.
That's it. It's done.
Sammy got a squash match. So
I guess they want to keep him strong going forward because they're doing the four pillars fatal four way, aren't they?
yeah, they are. And I was actually gonna say at the top of the show, I got kind of confused because there was a tag match with Darby Allin, and he teamed with Orange Cassidy against I've already forgotten who they faced, but I was like, this doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me. I don't understand what's going on. So
Hmm.
and I didn't see anything about that on the preview, so I'm not really sure what's going on there. But
That is a little odd.
yeah, hopefully,
Um.
we should see the other pillar, Jungle Boy, Jack Perry in action against Rush tonight, or Roosh, and I'm sure at some point where he'll hear something from the greatest AEW champion there is right now,
Maxwell
Jacob
Jacob Friedman.
Friedman. Yes.
Man, a lot of great wrestling to look forward to. Of course, we have SmackDown coming up this Friday night.
Yes. And you guys can come right
SmackDown should be an
here.
interesting show.
Yes. This Friday night, you guys can come right back here and check us out for Friday Night Hype. We'll be right here talking about SmackDown, previewing SmackDown. Maybe we'll watch along if I don't know. It all depends, but just come join us, bro.
Absolutely. Like definitely Friday Night Hype is something that Hypocrisy's been working on. He's also had the voice Josh Joseph come on and be a
Yes.
co-host on that show, and he's been doing a great job working together and giving us some content for Friday. So much so that now the plan is to actually bring Friday Night Hype to the podcast edition.
Woo.
That's right, guys. We're gonna be bringing Friday Night Hype to the Household Podcast Network, and that's gonna be great. Super excited for that. I mean, we've already got like some music compiled together. We're already working on it. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be a great vibe. I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
And we're just gonna have more content to put out there for you guys to work towards what we want to do, and that's get back on the charts. And once again, I have to reiterate, we need you guys for that. We
We
definitely do.
really need you guys.
Seriously, we need 5-star ratings. We need you guys to leave reviews on Apple Podcasts. They really do make a difference. Don't let anybody tell you that they don't, because they really do. We need that, guys. It's the reason that we got charted in the first place. It's the reason that we can call ourselves a top 100 wrestling podcast on Apple Podcasts. It's the reason that we can say that we're a 5-star podcast. It's the reason that we can say that we're internationally listened to. It's because of y'all. So we need you guys back doing that again. All of our new listeners, 5-star reviews need them. Our 5-star ratings need them. Reviews need them. We need all of it in order to get back to where we want to be at. We need y'all. So please, 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 if you guys get a second, just take that minute to click that 5-star, take that minute to just give us a short little review about what you think about the show. So that way we can get pushed to the top. We can become featured again, and we go crazy and get all these downloads and get all these opportunities to get charted again. It's because of y'all we did it before, and I believe in you guys to give us that help to do it again.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Thank you, yo. Thank you to the voice in the chat. He said it was Lee Moriarty and Big Bill, former members of the firm. Is the firm a thing, or are they fully deleted? Is that how that works? I'm not sure, but that's who was facing Darby Allin and Orange Cassidy at the start of the show. And I just want to say, the voice Joshua Joseph, my co-host on Friday nights, huge help, yo, and huge, just an absolutely great guy, yo. I can't thank him enough. He's such a grinder. He's helping us with this thing and helping us grow as we grow this network and as we grow all of these. And just to remind, or just to reiterate what Khan said, yo, those 5 stars, those likes, those subscribes, those fucking shares, all that shit helps. It helps us grow, and it helps other
Yes.
people join this household, right? Because it's a
Yes.
community that we're trying to build and grow and can keep flourishing.
I agree. I agree, man. Man, this has been a great episode. I mean, there we went so many different ways, but we kind of had to with the content that was given to us. Especially content that was given to us pretty much like on the fingertips of this show. I mean, as we were going on the air, things just kept happening, and I think we did a really good job of covering it. Of course, AEW is on right now,
Yep.
man, and we just want to chill out, get a chance to check that out, and then give us more content, because of course, guys, this episode is not only coming live to you guys on Wednesday nights, but the podcast edition is going to be available on Thursday, and then of course Friday we do Friday Night Hype, and we're looking for a drop day for Friday Night Hype on the podcast edition. Me and Hype will convene on that and figure out what's going to be the best day to drop the podcast version of that. But when we do, it's going to be out there in podcast form. The plan is to start that this week. So this week's episode that you guys hear Friday night on Twitch will be available on Spotify, will be available on Apple. Pushed it out to you guys on the day that we agreed to. So that's what we're doing here, and we're going to keep giving you guys that work, keep giving you guys that energy. And with that being said, I got my man here, Hypocrisy Jones, who helps out keeping this work going. But he doesn't just help me out. He does a great job of helping me out and is truly appreciated. But he doesn't just help me out. He helps a lot of people out with many different projects that he's involved in. And that's your cue, Hype, to let us know where we could find you at in all the projects that you do.
Yo, oh, well, thank you, Con. Yo, of course, household, you guys can find me right here in your house in all of its all of its various forms, whether it's the podcast version, whether it's the live version, the Twitch version, the Facebook version, whatever, what have you. But you can also find me linked to a group called the Kokomo Press. I love the Kokomo Press. It's kind of a hometown thing. It's a satire page that I'm a part of, but it spawned into a podcast itself called the Kokomo Press Podcast. And every week we bring you different guests, different interesting people, and all the topics of the week to share with you and everyone else. It's a fun time. It's a fun join. Check it out, yo, if you got time, or if you're into that podcast thing, which I assume you are if you're listening to this. So check
Yeah.
that out. That's available on Apple, Spotify, everywhere you get podcasts, or YouTube and otherwise. And I also do a show called The Weekly Plug, where we plug you in on literally anything and everything with my homie Scrap Lotto, yo. Check that out. That's all. You can find that through the Kokomo Press as well. Check it out. I stay busy. I do this podcast thing. We're over here building networks, as Khan said earlier, and that's what we're doing. It's all a community. It's a community of networks, and man, I couldn't be happier with the neighbor I got, and my homie and my brother right here, Alicon House.
Appreciate that, dog. Appreciate that. Guys, check out what Hypocrisy Jones is doing. He's a grinder, man, in so many different ways. I mean, I, for one, am a person who prides themselves on grinding hard in the background. There's, of course, people that are in the forefront that do their thing, but I thrive in the background. And so when I have somebody like that, when I have somebody like Hypocrisy Jones who thrives, in the background like I do, just beautiful things happen. So truly appreciative of that. Of course, guys, you can check me out and all the things that I do. I was just back at Emerge Wrestling over in Columbus, Indiana this past weekend. I always seem to find myself in some sort of scuffles in the middle of these wrestlers. It's a mess. It's crazy. You guys can check out all the content that I've been putting out there for Emerge. It's going to be coming out periodically throughout the week. We already got a couple of videos out there right now. We got a chance to interview the Emerge World Heavyweight Champion Braden Lee. I got a chance to interview Eric Dillinger. I mean, all these guys that you get a chance to see, you get a chance. I got a chance to work with them. Paragon, Daniel Eads, with in a big fight. Pull apart. Check that out. That was fun to do. That was cool. Also this weekend I'll be at Destination 6 in Macomb, Illinois. Always loving when I get to go back to the D6 Arena. This time we stand alone, and it's gonna be a movie. Come check it out, guys. If you want to follow everything that I do on social media, it's at the Hollywood House on IG. That's Hollywood House on Facebook and Twitter. Also, this podcast is on all of those. And that's in your house, guys. We're also on Spotify, Spreaker, Apple, iHeartRadio, anywhere that you get your podcast. I guarantee you that we will be there, that we are there, that you can check us out. Guys, also head on over to YouTube and check out Playhouse Gaming. That's right, Playhouse Gaming. That is me and my son's streaming channel where we stream video games. We did NBA 2K this past week. We've done WWE 2K. I've got a retro series that I've done where I've played Pokemon Stadium, also Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past. My wife also got involved as well, and she played
Ooh.
Soul Calibur 6. Yep, she played Soul Calibur 6, so that episode's going to be coming out soon. And then my son is actually going to be doing a series for The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom that just came out. Is going to be his first view of the game. He's going to be doing that on stream, so that's going to be really awesome. Hope you guys enjoy that. Guys, that's Playhouse Gaming, and that's HOWSC, and the W stands for work. So, guys, truly appreciate all your patronage, everything that you do for us. Once again, we're going to be coming at you once again Friday. My man, Hypocrisy Jones, Friday Night Hype with the voice, Josh Joseph. And that's going to be coming to the podcast form. Then, of course, next week I will be back with your solo shot. And then we're going to be back here Wednesday again for In Your House Live on Twitch. Guys, that's www.twitch.com/teamIYH. We truly appreciate it if you give us a follow. We're trying to get to 50 followers where we can start that affiliation and whatnot.
Woo.
But until that point, y'all, I need y'all to do me one favor, okay? And that's hop on this bandwagon, get on or get gone. Because the household, we still going mighty strong. You guys have a great day and a great rest of your week. Peace.
We out, household. Thank you. Hey.